Hello and welcome to Election Brief. And coming up today, Electoral Commission accepts filing fees from Progressive People's Party despite injunctions sought by the party against the astronomical fees. We'll attempt to get some answers on the Commission's decision as its filing exercise draws to a close today. Governing NDC directs its Eastern Regional Secretary to replace the party's parliamentary candidate for Afram Plains South as the beleaguered MP faces court action. We'll get updates from our reporter as the filing process draws to a close also in other parts of the region. Also, the Convention People's Party and National Democratic Party settle on who would partner them in the December 2012 polls. We'll tell you who they are. Hello and welcome to the show again. I'm Araba Kumsin. There's been a flurry of activities this week at the offices of the Electoral Commission as numerous presidential and parliamentary aspirants race against time to file their nominations to contest the December 7 elections. The exercise, which began on September 13th, ends today at 5 p.m. As you may be aware, the Progressive People's Party has filed a suit against the EC seeking an injunction on the collection of filing fees, which are pegged at 50,000 cedis and 10,000 cedis for presidential and parliamentary aspirants. The party argues that the fees are too exorbitant, so there was huge anticipation to see whether they would present the fees when the PPP leadership submitted its nomination forms today. This is what transpired when chairman of the party, Ni Alote Bruhammond, filed the nomination earlier today.
The Director of Communications, Mr. Japasu, had earlier within the last 48 hours indicated that all of the submission of nomination should be accompanied with a filing fee. So we were complying with that. We do also know that when the New Patriotic Party submitted their filing fee, the Electoral Commission told them that they were not to accept or receive. The injunction placed requested that they should not accept or receive. We have to ensure that we comply with all of the regulations as put forward by the Electoral Commission. Our suit injuncted the Electoral Commission from accepting and receiving. They have accepted and received, and I think that is where we may have to. I eventually asked that the fee should be given back, and the chairman objected. You were there. You are witnesses to the chairman objecting to giving back the fee because they were not to accept or receive.
So that's chairman of the PPP, Ni Alote Bruhammond there. It's not exactly clear why the commission decided to receive the fees from the PPP when in actual fact they had not received the fees from other parties. Let's get on the lines and speak to Joseph Akable for the latest on this. He is at the EC's headquarters in Accra. Good afternoon to you, Joseph. So has the EC given any reasons why it decided to collect the fees from the PPP?
Well, good afternoon, Araba. That is still the question that remains hanging, and we are still yet to get a response as to why the commission decided to take the money from the Progressive People's Party. In actual sense, like I stated in earlier, some of our earlier programs, the actual occurrence was that the Progressive People's Party presented the money to the commission. Now the commissioner then explained that we are not taking the banker's draft because of the suit that the Progressive People's Party had filed. Then the chairman said that, okay, if that is the case, then let us have the banker's draft. Then the EC chair replied by saying that you are aware of the implications, yet still you presented a banker's draft. So you are not getting it back. So that definitely has been the big news for today here at the Office of the Electoral Commission. And the interesting bit that transpired is the fact that right afterwards, when Richard Nixon Tete of UDFP came in to file his nomination, he presented a banker's draft, but that was not accepted. So as it stands, it's just that of the Progressive People's Party that has been accepted. As I speak to you now, Mr. Evo Green speaks in the IPAC conference room here at the Electoral Commission headquarters, and he's awaiting the Electoral Commission chair to come into the office and begin the process of introducing his team members as well as telling the commission which documents he has provided for today. But as it stands, 4 persons have appeared so far here at the office of the commission, starting from Christine Doom, like I mentioned, the Progressive Party chairman, Nialote Brihaman, led that delegation. Richard Nixon Tete of the UDSC, Dr. Henry Lassie of the GCPP, also he was here in person, and he had some interesting comments about the Progressive People's Party presenting the bankers draft to the Electoral Commission. He said in principle he agrees with Yassi, but he can't understand why he went ahead to present the bankers draft to the Electoral Commission. Then Ivor Greenstreet, like I said, is currently in the IFA conference room awaiting the Electoral Commission chair, who we expect to join us in some 5 minutes' time to listen to the CPP delegation.
Thank you very much. That's our reporter, Joseph Akaple. He's positioned at the EC's headquarters here in Accra, where the exercise is scheduled to end at 5 p.m. today. We can also get some legal perspective from lawyer Yao Pong on this matter. Thanks for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Now, are there any legal implications for the Electoral Commission for receiving and, also refusing to give back the filing fees of the PPP? Given that there is an injunction against it, and especially as it has, explained to other parties that it cannot accept the fees because of this legal action?
Well, thank you very much. Well, 2 things. I found out, and I was informed that yesterday AEC did not take banker drafts from the person who turned out to present their forms, but they took the form. But that today, they have accepted that of the PPP and also the GCPP. If that's correct, then, first of all, there's no issue of discrimination. Secondly, the PPP is a party in a suit that is pending before the court. So the PPP have filed an application for injunction to restrain the EC from taking the filing fees. Now, if you put the two together, when even a judgment has been given, the parties in the case can decide to engage in what we call compromise the judgment. If the court says that recover 10,000 Ghana cedis with interest of, let's say, 5,000, and the 2 parties after judgment decide that we will take only 10,000 and forgo the interest on it, it becomes the judgment of the court and not the original one that the court gave. And in this case, it will be for the PPP to file an application for contempt if they think that the EC, by taking the check, the banker's draft, have engaged in an act that for which they can be subject of contempt. But when they themselves have also presented the check, a person cannot blow hot and cold, and a person cannot approbate and reprobate. Be that as it may, the fact that the EC has taken the banker draft does not mean that they have received the filing fee, because it will take them, they will have to take steps to go to the bank and have the banker's draft realized. Perhaps upon the second thought, they decided to take the draft, which is not money properly so called, and that if the court rules against them in terms of the injunction, then they can easily return the banker's draft. If I understand the nature of banker's draft correctly, the issuer would not have suffered any loss. But if the court rules, dismisses the application for injunction on the 11th of October, if the date has not changed, then both the EC and the PPP and the other parties who have now presented their bankers draft wouldn't have also suffered anything. So I think these are the perspectives that I can appreciate for now.
All right. Many thanks for your viewpoint. And that's a legal practitioner, Yao Pong there. Well, earlier today, the Great Consolidated Party and the little-known Unity Development Systems Party also submitted their forms. Here are excerpts.
I find it quite strange that I hear the PPP came to want to put in the money since they've taken the Electoral Commission to court. That is the only thing I find strange. Meanwhile, what they've done is a good thing because it is going to help the Electoral Commission to rethink the price. Because you're talking about a filing fee that will not allow ordinary people to ever go into Parliament. And as you're aware, Abraham Lincoln said, democracy and government is the government of the people, by the people and for the people. We are going to politics to vote, for people to vote for us to help them. And if they cannot in their future be able to go into politics, it's going to be terrible. Because that's why I say, if we don't do it right, we're going to get the Ghanaian Spring. Because if ordinary people find that they cannot get into politics, because the filing fee is so high, and only the rich can do it. I stand with them. What I found ridiculous is that they should come and want to pay for the filing fee that they don't want to. I think it's too much in the first place. But you see, the democracy we have is for you, the journalists. It's for all of us. Why should a premium be more than the rate of inflation? Why should it be 500%? Why should it be 1,000%? I want all of you one day, if you want to be president, you should be able to be president.
All right, so the exercise is also ongoing earnestly in other parts of the country, including the eastern region, where many were surprised when the governing NDC's regional secretary, Mark Oliver Kevo, turned up at the EC's offices to file nominations, replacing the incumbent MP for Afram Plains South and the party's parliamentary candidate, Joseph Appiah. It's not clear why the party has asked the regional secretary to replace the MP, but there are suggestions that it may be linked to the MP's various court cases. The information we have is that the MP, Joseph Appiah Boateng, is currently before an Accra High Court for various alleged offences. He's alleged to have been convicted of fraud outside the country and was eventually deported to Ghana, where he joined the NDC. And upon becoming an MP, a writ was issued against him. So the suggestion is that the party feels that it may be risking, it doesn't want to risk using a candidate who's already in court for some alleged criminal activities. But we'll bring you much more on that in our subsequent bulletin, so stay tuned. You're watching Election Brief. We're taking a short break. We'll be right back. You're welcome back. Let's hit the campaign trail now, shall we? And we start off from the central region, where the MPP running mate has been continuing his campaign tour there. He is today in the Asin Central constituency, and you know the MP there is Kennedy Ejipong. And there's been a lot of issues coming up there. We can get some more details from our correspondent, Richard Kujonyako, who joins us on the line. Richard, bring us up to speed on what's been happening on Dr. Bawumia's tour, particularly in that constituency.
Okay, well, Dr. Bawumia touched base with the people of the Eastern, North, South, and Central constituencies today, and basically in preaching that they should change the agenda for the campaign tour that he's embarking on. You meet political party, the New Patriotic Party supporters. He's been going to the marketplace. But one remarkable thing when the Asin Central MP Kennedy Ejipong had used his common fund to put up a market for the people, because hitherto the market that used to be there was in a department part of the common fund to put up the building, but the market. But it was due for commissioning today, but the DC for the area says that the assembly is not going to allow that to happen because they have not been duly informed. They were not in touch with the people, and he says that the common fund is for the people, and so the MP cannot claim on the back of the campaign of the New Patriotic Party running mate, and so they will claim the glory and the glory for themselves, and so he's not going to allow that. Yesterday, the rampart started yesterday, and it's not allowed that to happen, even though the place has been decorated today, that we cut the tape for the commission of the market. The DC had deployed some
police personnel and some other security persons to be there. So it created some tension and it created some exchanges between the Member of Parliament for Assin Central and other assembly members, but the DC says that he's not going to allow that to happen. So that had greeted the campaign tour of the running mate. But he's nonetheless gone ahead to address a rally that is just close by the market that they were due to commission. And he's been also visiting other communities around the Assin Central constituency.
We understand that the MP has also been addressing the issue. What has he been saying?
Okay, well, what the Member of Parliament has been saying that he's been in Parliament for some time. He's seen of the people. He's been helping them address the challenges in the constituency. They should vote for him for this time around. He's going to up his game and bring more development to the people. They should vote. And he says that he's really supporting the flag bearer and running mate to win. And he's going not only his constituency, but he's going to ensure that they win a lot more central region this time around. But he said that central region is one of the big targets towards the election. And so if they win the central region in big time, they are going to win the overall campaign or the overall election. So that is what Kennedy Japan has been saying. But he was very angry when the DC said that he was not going to allow him. Initially in the morning, he says that he was going to go ahead with the commission, but later on in addressing party supporters, he says that he will allow them what will happen.
Thank you very much. That's our Central Regional Correspondent, Richard Kojonyako, bringing us up to date on the campaign by the MPP running mate, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Now, the New Patriotic Party can rehash its 2012 manifesto if they're finding it difficult to put together one for this year's election. That's the suggestion by General Secretary of the governing National Democratic Congress, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, to the largest opposition party in the country. The NDP has postponed the date for the release of its manifesto 3 times already, which it's creating concern for some people. We can listen to Johnson Asiedu Nketia as he addressed party supporters in Dwaboso in the Western region.
Dwaboso constituency, NDC, ESA, Yeko 2016, no. Yakandi for Yawo General Odi Animua, Ele Kwabena, Minta, Akando.
Speaking at the campaign launch, General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, seized the moment and advised the New Patriotic Party to relaunch its 2008 or 2012 manifesto since they did not have the chance to implement its content.
Meka mamati asiasa MPP wamuni manifesto na yasramo mokaja wamose manifesto who come at the MPP for na omaimu se ekomba etodabia aduane ade acheso no yedi mani ye enti wamu 2012 manifesto no.
That is the NDC's General Secretary Johnson Asiedu Nketia there. And so let's hit the campaign trail again and go to the Bono Ahafo region this time around, where the PPP flag bearer, Dr. Papakwesi Indum, has been making some rounds there. Correspondent Precious Semevo joins us on the line. Precious, is Dr. Indum wrapping up his tour of the region today?
Yes, Dr. Indum is I must say that he has actually wrapped up, his 4-day visit to the Bono Ahafo region, and that happened some few minutes ago in Tekima, where next the command of President Tekima, Australia, the army of the port at the palace. There were discussions between the two parties, the chief administrative of the entourage of Papa Indum. Now, Dr. Indum continues to trumpet the need why the people who have good in and trust governance, including particularly that he is the right man with a technical know-how
and what it takes as a businessman to create lots of jobs and then improve the lot of the citizenry. But there was something interesting that the chief of Techiman of the Amiao, said at the palace at state, Dr. Indu, and his campaign team now. He said that they will have to embark on what he calls a very, very serious marketing drive in order to be able to project and then the political plan of Dr. Papa because he personally, he has been able to achieve a lot for himself, but the people around him and not himself will have to do a lot.
All right. I guess the line is not too good, but thank you very much. That's Bunahafo Regional Correspondent Precious Semova there. Now, the leadership of the National Democratic Party has settled on a 47-year-old Michael Sosu from Keta in the Volta region as the running mate to its flag bearer, Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rawlings, for the December 7th general elections. The party, by the weekend, will outdoor Mr. Sosu in the Volta region. The flag bearer, who disclosed this to Joy News, said the decision to settle on him was influenced largely by his youthful approach. She's confident Mr. Sosu will attract the youth in the country to vote for the National Democratic Party. Meanwhile, the CPP's running mate Nana Gabi Nsia Nketia has promised to marshal his knowledge and experiences to bring victory. The party, in a statement, disclosed that they took the decision squarely on the account of his versatility, understanding of party philosophies, and his great exposure and maturity. I will bring you more on this in our subsequent bulletins. But that's how we wrap up the show. Thank you for staying with us throughout the week. I'm Arba Kumsin. Join us same time next week. The Pulse with Francis Aben is up next.